Hi parents, I'm Coach Charlie, the head coach for our boys competitive gymnastics program, and I'm going to go ahead and do a video today on our boys recreational gymnastics classes. So we're going to show you some basic stuff today with my helper Maggie and myself. I'm going to show warm up, some basic stretches that the boys can do at home. Then we're going to get into some specific shapes on floor that can be done in your own space, you know, at home if you've got enough of that. You don't need a panel mat for this, but we are going to show you some of these shapes with the panel mat today. And after the floor shapes, we'll go over some of the shapes the boys do in class on pommel horse and the mushroom to develop that really nice mushroom circle. And then we'll finish with some strength, some basic strength exercises that all the boys can do at home as well. So we're going to start off with our warm-up. We're just going to do a 10-second run in place, okay? Are you ready? Go. So running in place, we'll do this 10 seconds. Parents, if you have a mat, you can use the mat. The boys can use the mat. If you don't have one, that's okay. You just run in place, 10 seconds. Okay, then we'll hop on one foot. 10 seconds. Hop on the other. Good, hands on hips, we'll go side to side. Good, lunge hop, so we're gonna lunge, jump. 10 seconds. Good, jumping jacks, let's do 10 of those. Just get our muscles formed up. Perfect. Good. Let's do jump stick. So we want the boys to jump up and freeze. We're going to do 10 of those. No straddle, just feet fluid. And 10. Good job, Maggie. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and do some basic stretches. Got our body warmed up a little bit. We'll use the mat for this if we want. Let's start in straddle. Okay, reach down to the floor or the mat. Get a good 10-second stretch. If the boys can reach the mat, go ahead and challenge them to reach the floor. If they can do that, have them reach behind their feet. Good, let's go over to the left side. Over to the right. Very good, and let's sit down in our same straddle shape. Okay, reach for the mat. When we're doing these stretches in class, we want to try to make sure the boys have the legs straight, the feet turned out, head up and reaching. Don't let the feet roll in. Okay, bring your feet together. Pike stretch. So we're going to reach for our mat. Again, make sure the knees are straight. If the kids can't quite reach their feet without bending, that's fine. Reach as far as we can, but please make sure the legs are straight. Okay, pike. Shoulders. Throw hands behind you. Walk our hands all the way back. Try to keep the pinkies as close together as you can. Hold. A little lower. A little lower. Good. Okay, now that our shoulders are warm, we're going to do what's called a bridge. It's a really important shape in boys and girls gymnastics. So I'm going to have Maggie come over here. If the boys can't do it flat on the ground, if you have a couch, you can use the top of the couch. cushion, the armrest, to help put your feet up. And parents, you can also assist your boys. Just make sure their lower back is supported. Good 10-second hold. The bridge is a little easier to do on a wall or a raised surface. Good job. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do our 3 splits. So the first one we're gonna do is put left leg in front. Maggie, go ahead and switch. Okay, we're gonna slide that foot out. Make sure that there's a nice straight line with the front and the back leg when these boys are doing this. And then as they slowly slide their foot forward, they'll feel a little stretching in the back of the leg. We don't want them to go so far down they're in pain, but there should be a little discomfort there. So we'll hold that for 10. Good, we'll switch. Put our right leg in front. This is my really bad one. It's your good one. Slide that foot, keeping the front leg straight. Slide it down and hold. You want to make sure one hand is on each side of the front leg. And again, the foot is straight forward with the back leg straight. Good? Okay, now middle split. When the boys do this, if they're really tight, or they don't have a very good middle split, let them bend their legs just like this. They'll bend their knees, make sure their hips are in line with their knees. So we'll hold this pre-stretch first. So it's a little less painful for them. Once they get a little better, you can put the feet out. Make sure the hips are in line with the feet. Elbows on the ground. Legs straight. Very good. Also make sure the boys are breathing just like normal when they do these stretches. Want to make sure all the muscles get as much oxygen as they can. Okay, we're going to get into some floor shapes now that we've got warmed up and we got stretched and we're loose. We're going to open this mat up and do a couple of basic shapes for boys gymnastics. Perfect. Okay. All right. Okay, come on up, take the orange one. Now one of the things we want to make sure the boys are doing on floor is what's called presentation. It's basically how they're presenting these boys' skills. So we start with very basic fundamentals on our presentation. So we start with our hands by our side, feet together, fingers real straight, like karate chop hands. And we go up to 1. I call this 1, 2, 3, 4. Hands facing towards each other on 4. We go back to 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's an 8 count. It's real simple for the boys. We start this as early as the rec kids all the way up to our upper level guys. So let's go through it one more time, a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice job. Very sharp. So we want that presentation to look good when these boys are doing this stuff. Now, one of the most important things is the lunge. So we're going to go over that first with Maggie. So what I want, Maggie, you take those 2 colors. I want you to put your favorite foot in the orange one, okay? And your other foot in the other color, the red. Okay, arms cover the ears. Now, what we're trying to look for on this lunge is bend the front knee slightly. And notice how we have a little arch in our belly. We want her to tuck that belly in and turn her foot out a little. Keep her hips square, tummy in. That's a pretty good lunge shape. So we always make sure these shapes are real crisp and real precise. Like that. Good. Now show us a donkey kick. Just a small little donkey kick. Just kick up to lever and back down. Perfect. One more time for us, Maggie. Yes, so my foot, I'm opposite of Maggie, I'm a righty. So I want to make sure everything is in a nice straight line from the back of my leg all the way up through my arm. And I kick to my lever, and I step back down to that same shape. Tummy in. Good job. Very good. So just a simple donkey kick, so the boys can actually do that with straight legs and straight arms. The next shape I want us to go over is candlestick. You can have that side. Scoot up just a little. Okay, now, when we start this, I want the arms to start by the ears. We bend down. And we want to use the floor to hold our hips up. So Maggie, go ahead and put your hands on the floor. And then lift the feet all the way up. So we hold that candlestick shape. We want to try to hold that for 10 seconds. Once the boys start getting good at that, if they can do it with their hands on the floor, then you switch your arms to your ears. Okay, you want to try it? Here, try it, sit down. Okay, candlestick, arms by your ears, go. Tight, tight. Try to hold those feet right over the eyes and hold those hips up as they get better at candlestick. All right, the next shape that we'll talk about for floor is the cartwheel. This is probably the second most important skill next to a handstand is the cartwheel. Perfect, yeah. So I always tell my boys, okay, put one foot in your orange, one foot in the red, arms cover the ears, and then hands go in the middle, the yellow, and we want to finish in the opposite position. So it's going to finish in an opposite lunge from where they start. Go ahead, Maggie. Very good. One more. Awesome job. Well done. So I'll go ahead and do one. It's been a long time. So lunge, good straight line, arms cover the ears, cartwheel, opposite lunge, nice and strong. Okay. Just a side note, if they're very basic at the cartwheel, they can't kick up very tall, you can always do so I put an object, exactly, so I'll go this way and I'll put my hands, behind the raised surface. You could use a pillow or couch cushion, but a lot of those boys' cartwheels kind of look like this. And I really just put an object there to help the boys understand the legs need to go over and over the side. It's pretty good. You can do it hands in front. The hands there one more time. Kicking over the object. As they get better, that kick over will look a little taller. I've even used a wall before where the boys kick up and freeze right on the wall. Okay. Tripod. You can take whichever color. So I always tell the boys squat down. We make a triangle shape with our head and our hands. So in other words, the top of the head goes at the top of the triangle. And then the hands go at the bottom of their triangle. So I tell them, go ahead and get your knees up on your elbows like this. Get them close. Fingers forward. Very good. And then put the top of the head at the top of your triangle. So out in front. And we're just balancing. Okay? And back to feet. So they can even rock forward. Hold it just like that.
Put your knees on the outside.
Knees on the outside, Maggie. There you go. Yes, rock. Very good effort. Good try. So as the boys get better at that tripod, we go ahead and teach them to go all the way up to the headstand position. They can do it from the tripod if they want. And we want them to push all the way up. Let Maggie give it a try. Strong arms. Good job. So from the side, so we start with our tripod, holding there, and then we go all the way up. Okay? We can do this straddled, so we can have the boys stand and straddle, hands on the ground, head at the top of the triangle, and push straddle all the way up. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that. You start here, straddle all the way up, hold. Okay? All right, so basic tripod headstand. Again, the boys can use the wall to do this if it's in a safe space, you know, obviously not on the tile floor or hardwood floor. So a carpeted area is best, and they can do all this stuff on the wall. All right, now last thing we're gonna get into is pommel horse. It is probably the hardest event in men's gymnastics, so there are some critical shapes that the boys can do at home. They don't have to have a mushroom or an actual pommel horse. They could just do this on the ground. So we're gonna start with push-up position. So this is called front support. Hands out in front, lift the knees up. It's a 10-second hold. This is called front support or push-up position. Drop your booty down. Head up. Good. So that's front support. Then we're gonna swing our feet out in front of us. Now a lot of the kids, if they're very new to this stuff and these shapes, go ahead and face the camera, just like me. Feet out in front. We can do what's called a tabletop. They can keep the legs bent and they can push their hips up just like this. Very good, man. Very good tabletop. Real tall tabletop. As the boys get stronger, they will stick the feet out, keep the legs straight, and hold their rear support with straight legs. Okay? Go ahead and Maggie, will you face this way and show us a really good rear support? So feet are glued, knees are glued, strong arms. You want to push those hips super tall, super strong. This is very strong, Maggie. The boys can do this right at home on the ground in a safe space. So 10-second hold, very good. Awesome job. Okay, so front support, rear support. There is also side support. So as the boys are moving around in that circle motion, we want to hold, you can be over there, put your feet out to the side, on that side. Good. Okay, so yeah, one arm, hand under the shoulder. You want to lift up to side support. They can hold this for 10 seconds. Good, and then we switch to our other side support. Ten-second hold. Very good. Once the boys are strong enough to do these shapes, these basic support shapes for the pommel horse, we do what's called around the whirl. So Maggie, if you'll face forward, let's get in our front support, our push-up position. Scoot over just a little. Keep going, keep going. Perfect. Okay, so we go front support, and I always tell the boys, whichever direction you feel comfortable with. So we walk around the world, and we freeze in our side support. So walk this way. Make sure the chest faces forward the whole time. And then walk to rear support. Hold. Yeah, you'll have to help the boys understand facing the same direction. And then walk to the other side as we move around the world. Side support. And we move our way back to front support. So, around the world, those are fun. You just draw a circle, have the boys use strong arms. Try to hold each 4 positions for 10 seconds. Nice job. Good job. All right. The last thing that we want to do is a little bit of strength. I keep it very simple in all of our boys' rec classes. They really only do push-ups, sit-ups, and frog jumps. There's so many other exercises we can do, but at that age group, that's really all they need to do. So I'm gonna have Maggie demonstrate and help me. So push-ups. Okay, front support, so we wanna get in that front support again. And we wanna lower down. Make sure the shoulders stay in front of the hands. Push back up. We wanna try to do 10. Good job. Okay, for sit-ups, you can use a couch, something that the boys can put their feet under, so that you don't have to hold their feet necessarily. Go ahead and lay down facing the red mat. Feet under. Good. Scoot up just a little bit more. Good. So 10 sit-ups is usually what we do with those rec class kids. Feet under a surface, or you can hold their feet, parents. Knees together, feet together. Okay, that's 10. Good. Close enough. And then one other thing I wanted to cover on the push-up though is, so a lot of times the boys aren't able to do a good push-up. We want to make sure they're trying their best to do a proper push-up. So what I'll use is a raised surface. You can use the couch too. Exactly. So, and that helps get the position where the shoulders are in front of the hands. Perfect. Good, keep the back in a nice straight line. So you can use a raised surface for push-ups to help them out. Okay, frog jumps. Pretty simple. Good try. So yes, Maggie's demonstrating a few frog jumps. A couple things we want to try to remind the boys if you're doing this at home is knees together, feet together. And use hands touch the ground on the outside of the feet. So keeping the knees together, we want to jump. Good. Try to keep the feet glued. 10 frog jumps for the legs. Good job. Thank you, parents, for tuning in. Next time we'll cover some of the other men's events and some of those important shapes and progressions that you can show your boys at home. And we hope this helps you guys, and we cannot wait to see everyone back in the gym. Thank you.